Thank you, Eric. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. CheckFree, which is now part of Fiserv, has spent the past 12 to 18 months focused on integrating the online banking services and products from its acquisition of Carillion in with its legacy CheckFree Web RxP online bill payment solution. And on top of that, we've also done a lot of extensive end-user research with usability studies, focus groups, ethnographic research as well to really try to better understand what is the evolving consumer behavior, desires, and needs when it comes to online banking and bill payment. So all that insight and feedback has kind of resulted in the culmination of this new solution that we'll be launching later this year, CheckFree Online Advantage. If you go into this solution, you'll see John Smith, who's our user here. Now, he has access to all of his account information, all of his transaction capabilities here. You'll see his bills to pay, his account balances. All these transactions are all in one unique site, one destination where he can see everything and he can take action on that. Now, John just received an alert from his bank that let him know that he's at risk of overdrafting on his checking account. And the great thing that John has at First Financial here is that he can actually change the standard view into a calendar view and see all of his recent transactions and his pending transactions that are coming up. And he sees the overdraft warning here, and he looks in and he says, you know what, I forgot to deposit the check. Forgot to go into the branch and do that over the weekend. So I'm actually going to do that remotely here in a minute. But while John's here, he's going to get rid of that. And a couple things that he can do to help with that overdraft protection is you'll see this goes to a day view. And he can go in here and sees the Disney Adventures Inc. And he realizes they're not going there till October. So let's extend that payment out so that that doesn't hit me right away. So as he clicks pay, you'll notice that that went right here into his future transactions section. Then he's going to go back, go into the monthly view, and do a couple other things that can help with this. One thing he also notices is he has his garbage bill that was alerted here to be paid there, and he hasn't done that yet. So he's actually going to drag that over here to the 22nd, go right there, and he can actually initiate a payment right here from the window. He doesn't have to go into the payment assistant, doesn't have to go to a payment tab or a different page to do that. He can initiate that payment right here, and you'll see that it automatically changes into a scheduled payment. So John goes back and says, okay, so that's going to help right there. So let me go back into my standard view and see what else is going on. He notices that he has an e-bill that's been presented to him. His Sprint bill's due. So he's like, you know what, while I'm here, let's pay that bill. So he views the bill. He can see the whole bill as it's presented to him, all the detailed information. He can also go in here and view the payment history right there from the window. Again, doesn't have to go back into the recent payment history. Can see all that right there. Yep, that's about the same amount I usually pay. Great. I'm going to confirm that payment, go right there. And you notice that that automatically shows up right there in his pending transactions. So he knows that that payment has gone through. As he scrolls down the site, there's a couple other things that are really unique to First Financial for John. He has a monthly budget that he's planned out to figure out how much money he can spend on certain categories. And this integrates with the PFM that's available at the site. And he notices that he's a little bit over on auto, and he's questioning why that is. So he comes back into recent transactions, goes into the pie chart, and sees, well, let me see where this auto thing is going in. And each of these categories are presented here. He dives into the auto section, and he's like, okay, gas and maintenance is good. Repairs, that's a little bit, and he remembers, that's right, we got our brakes fixed this weekend. So that's why we're overextended. So I'm just going to have to be careful with some of my other categories and make sure I don't spend as much. Now, the final thing that he needs to do here before he heads off to his meeting is he needs to pay a bill, transfer some money, and deposit a check. So what he does, he goes right into this quick pay. Again, he doesn't have to go to a different page. Comes right in here, and he realizes he's going to pay it with his Visa bill because he wants to get the reward points for this payment. He's going to pay his auto insurance bill, and he goes in here, and he can see here's the recent history of each of the past 2 months. If he wanted to, he could click this and create it as a recurring payment so he didn't have to do this again. But he's going to come in here. He also sees an ad. Being that he's looking at auto insurance, First Financial sees that as contextual and relevant and presents him with an ad for an auto loan. John's like, you know what, I don't have time to look at that right now, but I'm grateful for that. I may look at that later. So he comes in here, does $85 to there. He could expedite that payment for a fee, but he says, you know what, I'm good. I'll do this on Friday. Reviews that payment, $85, and clicks OK. Next thing he does, he goes into the transfer module and realizes because he's going to be depositing his commission check here that he's going to transfer some money to his money market account that's available at Second Financial. So he's going to transfer $300 over to that from his checking account into Second Financial Money Market. And he notices that First Financial presents him with another ad about their money market account. He wants to learn a little bit more, so he goes up here and sees the ad. They're offering 4%. Maybe I ought to look at that. If he wanted to, he could click right into this, open the account, and fund it immediately from this page without having to worry about losing his transfer capabilities. But again, he's in a hurry because he has a meeting, so he comes back in here, says, I'm good. I'm going to make sure that I do this at a later date so that I make sure that my deposit clears. So he sets that for the 22nd, reviews that transfer, and clicks OK. The final thing he wanted to do, again, he forgot that he didn't go into the branch and deposit that commission check. So here, this is integrating the source capture capabilities that Fiserv brings, integrating it with our online banking experience. And what he's going to do is going to deposit his commission check for $1,400. Come in here, go to his checking account. He has his integrated printer, fax, or scanner here at his desk, so he puts the front of the check down, scans the front of the check, takes a couple minutes, a couple seconds to go through. He sees the front of the check, can easily scan the back of the check, make sure that the signature is there, the bank information, etc. Finalize to confirm that this is $1,400 going into his checking account, and he clicks OK. Now, John has just gone in, and in 5 minutes has gone in and taken care of an overdraft account, paid his e-bill, paid a paper bill via the online banking site, transferred money, and deposited a check, all within that 5-minute time frame, and also proactively managed where his budget was. That's how we think that CheckFree is redefining the online banking experience for consumers today, is that it enables them to go in, do transactions all at one single destination, get proactive about their finances, and really be able to get in, do their things, see value in the bank, and then move on with their lives. We have a lot more that we'd love to show you here. We'd love to visit with you at the networking table, and thanks for your time.